The massive council ship Harmony drifted through space toward the small yellow star humans called Sol. Ambassador Zeth stood on the bridge, watching the third planet grow larger on the main screen. Earth looked peaceful from here. Blue oceans, white clouds, green and brown land masses. Just another world to evaluate for council membership. Beginning standard scans now, announced Dr. Vex from his station. The thin gray alien's forearms moved quickly over the control panels. We should have basic readings within the hour. Seth nodded. This was routine work. The Galactic Council had done this thousands of times before. A new species would be discovered, evaluated, and either welcomed into galactic society or marked for future contact when they became more advanced. The humans seemed friendly enough during first contact, primitive but curious and eager to learn. "Sir?" Dr. Vex called out, his voice strange. "You need to see this." Zeth walked over to the science station. On the screen, layers of data showed, Earth's surface and what lay beneath. "What am I looking at?" "Energy signatures," Dr. Vex said, pointing at glowing lines that ran under the continents. "But these readings, they're impossible." "Explain." Dr. Vex's four eyes blinked in sequence. "The technology creating these signatures is older than our oldest records. Much older. We're talking about civilizations that existed before the Council, before the Zentari Empire, before any known galactic power." Zeth felt cold. The Council kept detailed records going back 50,000 years. Nothing was older than their archives. "Are you certain?" "The energy patterns are completely unknown. And sir..." Dr. Vex paused. "They're still active." The bridge fell silent except for the quiet hum of ship systems. Commander Thel, the Council's military expert, stepped forward. His massive frame towered over the others. "Active how?" "Low power, but definitely running. It's like a vast network sleeping under the planet's surface, connected to every major continent." Zeth stared at the display. Ancient technology, still functioning, hidden beneath a world inhabited by a species that had barely reached their own moon. Could the humans know about this? "Unlikely," Dr. Vex replied. "Their deepest mining operations don't even come close to these depths, and the energy signatures are shielded. Without our advanced sensors, they would never detect them." A soft chime announced an incoming message. The main screen switched to show two humans waiting in a small shuttle approaching their ship. Dr. Na'un was a young woman with dark hair and bright, curious eyes. General Kim Tae sat beside her, older and more serious, but his expression was welcoming. "Council Ship Harmony," came Dr. Na'un's voice over the communication system. Her English was careful but clear. "This is Dr. Na'un from Earth. We are ready for the scheduled meeting. Thank you for this honor." Zeth watched the two humans on screen. They looked so normal, so innocent. Could they really be unaware of what lay beneath their feet? "Dr. Vex, how extensive is this network?" "Preliminary scans show connections under all 7 continents. The main nodes appear to be under major population centers, what the humans call New York, London, Tokyo, Delhi. Almost like the network was designed around where humans would eventually build their cities. That made no sense. The humans had only had cities for a few thousand years. This technology was far older. Commander Thel leaned closer to the scanner display. Could this be some kind of monitoring system? Something watching the humans? Or controlling them? Dr. Vex added quietly. The shuttle carrying the human delegates was almost at their docking bay. Zeth made a decision. "We proceed with the normal evaluation process. Do not mention these discoveries to the humans yet. Continue deep scans and gather as much data as possible." "Sir," Dr. Vex said, "there's something else. I'm detecting similar energy signatures in human DNA." "What do you mean?" "The humans carry genetic markers that resonate with the buried technology. Not active, but present. Like they're connected to it somehow." Zeth felt his 3 hearts beating faster. A species carrying genetic links to ancient, unknown technology. Technology older than galactic civilization itself. Technology that was still active and apparently watching over Earth's most populated areas. The docking bay doors opened. Through the main screen, Zeth could see Dr. Na-Yun and General Kim Tae stepping out of their shuttle. They moved with confidence but also wonder, looking around at their first alien spacecraft with the excitement of children. Dr. Na-Yun was already pulling out a small recording device, speaking into it about what she saw. General Kim Tae walked, with the disciplined stride of a military man, but his eyes were wide with curiosity. They both seemed genuinely amazed to be here. Either they were excellent actors or they truly had no idea what slept beneath their world. Dr. Vex, Zeth said softly, I want continuous monitoring of those energy signatures. Any change, any activation, report to me immediately. Yes, sir. As the human delegates approached the bridge, Zeth tried to push his concerns aside. But deep in his mind, one question echoed. What would happen if that ancient network ever fully awakened? 3 days had passed since the council delegation arrived at Earth. Dr. Vex had barely slept. His laboratory aboard the Harmony was filled with data streams, genetic samples, and historical records that the humans had eagerly shared. What he was discovering made his skin crawl. Ambassador Zeth, Dr. Vex called over the communication system. Please come to Lab 7 immediately. Bring Commander Thel. When the 2 council members arrived, they found Dr. Vex standing before a massive display showing human genetic code. Floating beside it were energy pattern readings from the buried network. Look at this, Dr. Vex said, pointing at specific sections of the DNA display. These neural pathways in human brains, they're currently inactive, but the structure is identical to the control systems we've detected in the ancient technology. Zeth studied the patterns. Even to his untrained eye, the similarities were obvious. You're saying humans are genetically connected to this buried network? More than connected. They're designed for it. Dr. Vex pulled up another display showing metabolic data. Human bodies produce specific proteins that would interface perfectly with the ancient systems. No other known species has these markers. Commander Thel's massive frame shifted uncomfortably. What about their history? Have you found anything unusual there? Dr. Vex nodded grimly. That's the disturbing part. The display changed to show a timeline of human development. Look at their technological progress. For most of their history, advancement was slow and steady, but during major crises they make impossible leaps forward. The timeline highlighted several periods. World War II, they developed nuclear power, jet engines, computers, and rockets in just 6 years. The 2020 pandemic, they created multiple vaccines using completely new technology in less than 1 year. Every major threat produces innovations that should have taken decades. Maybe they're just clever under pressure, Zeth suggested, though his voice sounded doubtful. No species is that clever, Commander Thel rumbled. I've studied warfare across the galaxy for 3 centuries. What they accomplished shouldn't be possible with their level of knowledge. Dr. Vex activated another display. There's more. I've been working with 2 human scientists, Dr. Park Sol and engineer Li Jin. Both brilliant, but watch what happens when I show them our technology. The screen showed security footage from earlier that day. Dr. Park Sol, a young woman with short hair and quick movements, was examining a council medical scanner. Li Jin, a tall man with careful hands, was studying a gravity manipulation device. Normal humans should need months to understand even basic alien technology, Dr. Vex explained. But watch this. In the footage, Dr. Park Sol suddenly stopped, touching the medical scanner randomly, and began operating it with purpose. Her movements became confident, almost instinctive. Li Jin did the same with the gravity device, his hands moving to controls he had never seen before with startling accuracy. They both claimed they just understood how the devices worked, Dr. Vex said. When I asked them to explain, they couldn't. They said it felt natural, like remembering something they had forgotten. Commander Thel leaned forward. Show me their brain scans during these moments. Dr. Vex brought up the neural activity readings. Notice these spikes in the dormant pathways we identified earlier. When exposed to advanced technology, parts of their brains that should be inactive start showing activity. The bridge was quiet except for the hum of ship systems. Zeth stared at the data, pieces of a terrifying puzzle falling into place. Dr. Vex, in your opinion, what does this evidence suggest? Earth wasn't just home to an advanced civilization, Dr. Vex said slowly. It was their laboratory. Humanity appears to be the result of genetic engineering by whatever species built that network. Commander Thell's four arms crossed over his chest. The architects. The what? Zeth asked. Old legends, Thell explained. Stories told by the oldest council species about a race that dominated the galaxy before vanishing. They were said to have technology that made our most advanced systems look primitive. According to the legends, they disappeared suddenly, leaving no trace. Except they did leave a trace, Dr. Vex said. They left humanity. Zeth felt fear growing in his chest. But why? Why create a new species? Think about it, Commander Thell said. What if the architects faced some threat that destroyed them? What if they created humanity as their replacement, their heirs? Dr. Vex nodded. It would explain everything. The genetic markers, the buried network, the impossible technological leaps during crises. Humanity isn't just another species. They're a designed weapon system. Or worse, Commander Thell added, they're designed to be the next galactic rulers. The communication system chimed. Dr. Naun's voice came through the speakers. Ambassador Zeth, we've prepared the cultural exchange presentations you requested. Dr. Park Saul and Engineer Lee Jin are very excited to share our recent innovations with your team. Zeth looked at his colleagues. Those two humans were downstairs right now, possibly carrying the genetic legacy of the most powerful species the galaxy had ever known, and they had no idea. We'll be right down, Zeth replied, his voice steady, despite his fear. As they walked toward the meeting room, Dr. Vex whispered, what if the network isn't just monitoring them? What if it's training them? Commander Thell's response was barely audible. Then we may already be too late to stop whatever the architects planned. The emergency alarm on the Council's survey ship Explorer had been screaming for 3 hours. Captain Kex watched his crew work frantically to repair the damaged engines while their ship drifted helplessly near Jupiter's massive gravity well. Hull breach in Section 4 is getting worse, reported his engineer. We're losing life support. Estimate, 6 hours before total system failure. Kex's mandibles clicked with worry. The Explorer was too far from the main Council fleet for rescue. Their only hope was the primitive human vessels operating in this system. But human technology was centuries behind Council standards. They couldn't possibly help with repairs this complex. Incoming transmission from Earth Vessel Resilience, his communications officer announced. The main screen showed a human woman in a blue uniform. She had determined eyes and spoke with calm authority. Council Ship Explorer, this is Captain Yu Mi of Earth Rescue Command. We received your distress signal. Permission to approach and render assistance. Kex almost laughed. What could these humans do that his advanced crew couldn't? But with 6 hours to live, he had no choice. Permission granted, Captain Yu Mi. But I should warn you, our technology is far beyond your current capabilities. Understood. We're launching rescue shuttles, now. Resilience out. Within minutes, Kex watched 3 small human shuttles racing toward his ship. They moved with surprising skill, navigating the dangerous radiation fields around Jupiter like experienced pilots. The lead shuttle docked with practiced precision. Captain Yu Mi entered the Council ship with her team. Kex was surprised by what he saw. The humans moved with confidence, not the hesitation he expected from a primitive species encountering advanced technology for the first time. Where's your main engineering section? Yu Mi asked. Kex led them through the corridors. Behind Yu Mi walked a young human technician named Choi Bin. The man kept looking at the ship's systems with an odd expression, like he was remembering something. In engineering, Kex explained the problem. The quantum fusion core is destabilizing. Our repair systems can't access the damaged components without shutting down life support. Yu Mi studied the massive engine for only a few seconds. Choi Bin, can you interface with their diagnostic systems? Kex stared. Interface? Your species doesn't even understand quantum mechanics yet. But Choi Bin was already approaching the main control panel. The young human placed his hands on the alien interface. His eyes went distant, unfocused. Suddenly, the ship's diagnostic displays came alive with information. "This is impossible," Kex whispered. "Those controls require genetic recognition from council species. Humans shouldn't be able to activate them." Choi Bin spoke without looking away from the panel. "The fusion matrix is out of alignment by 0.03 degrees. If we reroute power through the secondary manifolds while adjusting the magnetic containment field..." His hands moved over controls he had never seen before with impossible accuracy. The engine's dangerous vibrations began to smooth out. Emergency. Alarms stopped screaming. Kex watched his ship's system stabilize in ways his own engineers hadn't thought possible. "How did you know to do that?" Kex demanded. Choi Bin looked confused. I'm not sure. It just felt right." Captain Yumi was coordinating with her other team members through her communication device. "Teams 2 and 3, hull breach repairs are ahead of schedule. Something strange is happening here. Our people are working like they've done this before." Meanwhile, on Earth, Dr. Na-Eun was monitoring the rescue operation from her laboratory. She had been studying the genetic data that Dr. Vex shared with her when her instruments began showing unusual readings. "That's impossible," she muttered, staring at her screens. Energy signatures from around the world were spiking. The buried network that Dr. Vex had discovered was becoming more active. She pulled up a global map showing the network's nodes. Under New York, London, Tokyo, Delhi, and dozens of other cities, the ancient systems were powering up. Not to dangerous levels, but enough to be detected. Her communication system chimed. "Dr. Na-Eun, this is Dr. Vex aboard the Harmony. Are you seeing what we're seeing?" "The network is activating," she confirmed. "It started about 20 minutes ago, right when our rescue teams reached your people." "That's not a coincidence," Dr. Vex replied. "Our scans show the network is responding to human brain activity. Specifically, the brain activity of humans interacting with advanced technology. Back near Jupiter, the rescue operation was proceeding impossibly well. Choi Bin had somehow reprogrammed the Explorer's entire navigation system to work more efficiently. Other human technicians were repairing hull damage using methods that Council engineers didn't recognize, but that clearly worked. Captain Yu Mi coordinated everything with natural leadership that impressed even Kex. She seemed to understand ship operations that should have taken years to learn." "Captain Yu Mi," Kex said quietly. "In all my years of service, I've never seen anyone master our technology so quickly. How are your people doing this?" Yu Mi paused in her work. "I don't know. It's like we've done this before, but that's impossible. We've never seen ships like yours." Dr. Na-Eun's voice came over the communication channel. "Captain Yu Mi, I need you to know something. The ancient network under Earth is responding to what you're doing out there. When your people interact with Council technology, the network becomes more active." "What does that mean?" Yumi asked. "From the Harmony," Dr. Vex answered. "It means humanity is more than you think you are." As the last repairs were completed and the Explorer powered back to full operation, Kex realized something that chilled him. These humans hadn't just saved his ship. They had improved it. Systems were running better than they had in years. What kind of species could instantly understand and improve technology they had never seen before? The ancient facility buried beneath Sol had been silent for thousands of years. But 3 days after the Jupiter rescue, its massive doors opened for the first time since the last ice age. Dr. Yun Wu stood at the entrance with a team of human archaeologists and linguist Han Ji, staring into corridors that seemed to stretch forever into the earth. "The energy readings are off the charts," Yun Wu reported into his communication device. "Dr. Na-Eun, are you seeing this data?" "I see it," came Na-Eun's voice from her laboratory in New York, where a similar facility had opened. "These structures are huge, much bigger than we imagined." Aboard the Council ship Harmony, Dr. Vex watched the human exploration teams with growing alarm. "Ambassador Zeth, they're walking into those facilities like they belong there. No hesitation, no fear." On his screen, Zeth could see Han Ji moving through the alien corridors with confidence. The young linguist was pointing at symbols carved into the walls and speaking rapidly to her team. Somehow she seemed to understand writing that predated all known civilizations. "What is she saying?" Zeth asked. Dr. Vex translated the audio feed. "She's reading the wall symbols. According to her, they tell a story about teachers and students, about passing knowledge from one generation to the next." Deep in the Soul facility, Hanji stopped before a massive crystal panel covered in flowing text. When she placed her hand on its surface, the crystal blazed with light. Images filled the air around her. Holographic records of a species that looked almost human but taller, with larger eyes and longer fingers. "Yun-Woo," Hanji called, her voice filled with wonder. "You need to see this. I think I understand what they're saying." The holographic records showed the final days of the architects. Yun-Woo watched scenes of a once great civilization destroying itself through war and hatred. Cities burned, planets died, and entire species faced extinction not from outside enemies, but from their own inability to work together. They were incredibly advanced, Hanji translated as the images continued. But they were also proud and angry. They couldn't stop fighting each other, even when it meant destroying everything they had built. The records showed the last surviving architects gathering in secret facilities like this one. They worked frantically on a final project, not a weapon to win their wars, but something else entirely. "They created us," Yun-Woo whispered, understanding flooding through him. "They designed humanity to be what they couldn't be." The holographic displays showed genetic engineering on a massive scale. The architects had taken the best parts of their own biology and combined it with something new. The ability to cooperate, to find strength in diversity, to care about others even at personal cost. "They encoded their knowledge into our DNA," Hanji said, reading the flowing text. "But they also gave us something they had lost, compassion." On the Harmony, War Chancellor Kree paced the command bridge like a caged predator. His scaled hide was dark with anger as he watched the human discoveries. "This confirms our worst fears," he growled. "They are weapons, designed by the most powerful species the galaxy has ever known." "That's not what the records show," Dr. Vex protested. "The architects weren't creating weapons, they were creating teachers, peacekeepers." "You fool," Crick snarled. "Don't you see? They gave humans all their knowledge and made them better at cooperation than any known species. In a few generations, humanity will surpass all of us. They'll rule the galaxy just like their creators did." Commander Thel studied the data streams from Earth. Cricks may be right about their potential, but wrong about their intentions. Look at what they did during the Jupiter rescue. They saved Council lives when they could have let us die. In the Soul facility, pilot Song Min had discovered something extraordinary. When he approached certain control panels, they activated at his touch. He found himself able to communicate directly with the ancient systems through thought alone. "It's like the machines are waking up because we're here," he reported. "They're teaching me things, showing me how to pilot ships I've never seen, how to navigate between stars." Similar reports came from all over Earth. In London, engineer Lee, Jin was learning to manipulate matter at the atomic level. In Tokyo, medical student Kim Nari was understanding healing techniques that could cure diseases thought incurable. Dr. Na-Yun coordinated the global research effort from her command center. "The network isn't just activating," she reported to the council delegation. "It's educating us, downloading thousands of years of knowledge directly into human minds." Ambassador Zeth felt cold dread in his chest. How long before they have access to everything? At current rates, Dr. Vex calculated, humanity will possess architect-level technology within months, not centuries. War Chancellor Crix's voice cut through the bridge communications. "I'm calling an emergency council session. This species must be contained or eliminated before they become a threat to galactic stability." "They saved our people at Jupiter," Commander Thel argued. "They've shown nothing but friendship. That's what makes them dangerous," Crix replied. "The galaxy will follow them willingly, just like it followed the architects before they destroyed everything." In the ancient archives beneath Earth, Hanji made one final discovery. The last message from the architects was simple but profound. We failed because we forgot how to love, teach them what we could not learn, make them better than we were. But above them, in the cold void of space, the Council prepared to decide humanity's fate. War Chancellor Krix's fleet appeared in Earth's solar system like metal predators. 12 Council warships dropped out of hyperspace and immediately targeted the planet's major cities. On the bridge of his flagship, Krix studied tactical displays showing millions of human lives ready to be ended with a single command. "This is War Chancellor Krix to all Earth defenders," he broadcast. "You represent a threat to galactic peace. Surrender immediately or face total destruction." Dr. Na-Yun felt the ancient network surge to life around her. In her laboratory beneath New York, she was now permanently connected to the architect systems. Information flowed through her mind like a river. Defensive strategies, shield technologies, weapon systems that could vaporize Krix's entire fleet in seconds. But she also felt something else. The network carried the emotions and memories of its creators. She experienced their final moments, their regret at choosing destruction over cooperation. The architects had possessed these same weapons once. Using them had cost them everything. "All defense teams," Na-Un spoke into her communicator, her voice carried by the network to every awakened human on Earth. "We protect everyone. That includes the people trying to kill us." Captain Yumi stood on the bridge of the hastily upgraded Earth vessel Defender. Through her connection to the network, she could see Krix's attack patterns before he implemented them. She knew exactly where his weapons would strike and when. "Li Jin, are the shield generators ready?" she asked. "Ready, Captain," Li Jin replied. "From engineering." He had spent the last 3 days learning architect technology that let him manipulate energy on a planetary scale. "I can protect the cities, but what about the Council ships?" "Protect them too," Yumi ordered. "That's what makes us different." Krix fired first. Streams of plasma capable of destroying continents raced toward Earth's surface. But as they approached the atmosphere, massive energy shields materialized around every major city. The deadly energy scattered harmlessly across protective barriers. "Impossible," Krix snarled. "No species develops planetary defense systems that quickly." His tactical officer looked confused. "Sir, they're also projecting shields around our ships. The humans are protecting us while we attack them." On the Council observer ship Harmony, Ambassador Zeth watched in amazement. "Dr. Vex, are you seeing this? The human defense grid is more advanced than anything in our databases," Dr. Vex confirmed. "But they're using it to create a protective dome around the entire battle zone. No one can be hurt. Not us, not them, not even any ships that might pass through the area." Commander Seo Huan, a moderate council member who had opposed Krix's attack, studied the tactical displays with growing respect. "They have weapons that could destroy us instantly, but they're choosing to shield us instead. Why?" In the Seoul Command Center, pilot Song Min was coordinating with awakened humans across the globe. Through the network, they moved as one mind, with thousands of bodies. Each person understood their role perfectly. "Disable their weapons but protect their crews," Song Min directed. "Remember, they're afraid of us. Show them they don't need to be." Across Earth's surface, the ancient network fully activated for the first time in millennia. Beam weapons emerged from hidden installations, but instead of firing destructively, they created precise energy fields that safely disabled the Council ship's weapon systems. When Krix's vessels lost power and began drifting, human rescue ships immediately launched to provide life support. Dr. Yoon Woo and Han Ji worked together in the ancient archives, using architect knowledge to communicate directly with the Council fleet. Han Ji's voice reached every ship simultaneously, translated into dozens of alien languages. "We are the children of those who came before," she said. "We were made to protect, not to conquer. Please let us help you." War Chancellor Krix raged as his flagship's weapons went offline. "They're making us look weak. Fire everything, destroy them." But his crew was already responding to human rescue efforts. When life support failed on his ship, human technicians beamed aboard to repair the systems. They worked efficiently and politely, like they were helping friends instead of enemies. Commander Seo Juan was among the first council leaders to accept human assistance. When Captain Yumi personally rescued his crew from their damaged vessel, he found himself face to face with the enemy he had feared. "Why are you saving us?" he asked her. "We came here to destroy you." Yumi smiled as she helped him to a rescue shuttle. "Because that's what we were made for. Our creators failed because they forgot how to protect each other. We won't make that mistake." Within hours, the battle was over. Every council ship was safely disabled, every crew member rescued and cared for. Not a single life had been lost, on either side. In his emergency medical bay aboard a human ship, War Chancellor Crix lay recovering from injuries sustained when his bridge lost power. Dr. Park Saul tended to his wounds with gentle expertise. "You could have killed us all," he said weakly. "That would have made us exactly like those who came before," Dr. Park Saul replied. "We choose to be better." Ambassador Zeth stood before the Reformed Council Assembly 3 days later. "The humans have demonstrated something unprecedented," he announced. "Power used solely for protection. Strength applied only for preservation of life." Commander Seo Juan rose to speak. "I formally request that Earth be granted not just council membership, but guardian status. Let them teach us what they have learned." The vote was unanimous. In the depths of space, ancient monitoring stations on distant worlds began to stir. Across the galaxy, other legacy planets started awakening their own hidden children. The architect's true plan was finally revealed. Not one guardian species, but many. Each designed to guide the galaxy toward a future built on cooperation rather than conquest.